It's the NFL on EA Sports, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. We're just moments away from the action, and it's all up next.
We're about 20 miles from the Gulf of Mexico at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa, as we bring you the NFL on EA Sports. Good to be in the booth with Greg Olson. I'm Mike Tirico. Greg, this is a passing league. You know that from your days. It's evolved even more into a game in the air. And boy, do we have a couple of quarterbacks who know all about moving their team via the pass.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see this ball thrown early and often throughout the game. And anyone who loves offensive football, this is certainly a treat. And you said it, Mike. This league has turned more and more with each passing season into a passing league. If you can't throw, if you can't generate points through the air and explosive plays, it is going to be very difficult to compete and win week in and week out in today's modern NFL.
So pleased to have you along. This should be a good one. We're set, and off we go here on EA Sports. He's across the 20 to the 21. That's where the drive will begin. The Houston offense heading out to the field for the first time. They're led by the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2023. From Ohio State, it's C.J. Stroud.
You could certainly make the case, Mike, that he had one of the best rookie seasons by a quarterback in NFL history. Not so much just his personal play, but he has completely rejuvenated that Houston Texans locker room and that Houston Texans organization. It was incredible watching him as a rookie. Tell you what, though, I think he's even more capable here in his second year under center.
And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete. He's looking for Joe Mixon coming out of the backfield. And it'll bring up second down.
He just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And he's out of bounds, up beyond the 40-yard line. A gain there of 21. First down for Houston.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes. Mike, I have to be honest, when offenses come up with run-play designs, blocking the corner is not really a big priority. But in this case, great job not only forcing it on the outside, but defeating the block, coming up and making the tackle, and keeping it to no gain.
And that'll go for a gain of 7, and it's going to set up third down.
Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch-and-catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
And in motion, it's Diggs. They'll try and run for this with Mixon. A pickup there of 19 yards. It's good for a Texans first down.
Over the last couple years, Mike, we've seen the trend in the NFL is that third down has really become a passing down, but not here. Not for this team. They keep the ball on the ground. They're able to pick up a big gain. Fresh set of downs.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. They'll go right back to Mixon, and he'll plow forward for a gain of 4 yards. Here's 2nd and 6. Here's a give up the middle to Mixon. Good blocking to the 15. The speed on display. He's in. Joe Mixon. Touchdown, Houston. Exactly the way they scripted this one. A beautiful opening drive, Greg. Able to find the end zone on the game's first possession.
And Mike, the word that comes to mind looking at that drive is execution, and that's exactly what they talked about all week long. They wanted to come out early in this game and establish an early rhythm, and that's exactly what they did with that touchdown drive.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's up and through. And the Texans will take a 7-0 lead. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it up. To return is Tucker. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. So the Tampa Bay offense set to work for the first time in this one. And they're led by the #1 overall pick back in 2018. Greg, it is Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
If he's going to lead his team to a win, he has to be smart with his decision-making. The last thing you want to do is give the opposing team an extra possession solely because you got reckless with the ball. As long as he is calculated with those risks, I think they have a good chance today coming out on top.
Now a run with the rookie out of Oregon. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
The integrity of the defense, Mike, is based on every defender holding their gap. That's exactly what we saw out of this defensive tackle. Not only did he hold his gap, he's able to shed his block and make the play.
They'll go again here with Irvin. And he nearly got free. But as it is, gain of 6, and it sets up third down. A tight end in motion now. From the gun, it's Mayfield. He finds his tight end, Keith.
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on third down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on fourth down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The Texans offense going to take over now for the second time. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground, and here's Mixon. The defense all over this one. They get him behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a couple.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
So after 1, 7-0 is our score. We'll have more from Tampa after this. Here's a 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Stroud. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
3rd and long. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play him man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
And that's a nice job of getting to him, making sure that return was not going anywhere. The Buccaneers offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. Baker gonna give it to Irving. And a nice run. Get him about 9. It'll bring up second down. Right back to Irving. And that'll give him a first down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3.
This offense, they're not interested in taking the deep shot here. Second and short, the way they're running the ball, pound the rock, reset the downs, and just keep the drive alive.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. A give. This is Irving. And a spirited run there, somehow managing to gain a couple of yards. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. Godwin working the right side. And that's a first down. It will be a gain of 8.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need, but really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
On 1st and 10, here's Baker. Get this complete right side to Otten. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. Two minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. Greg and I back from Tampa after a timeout. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Now Mayfield. Now screen set up for Irving. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9. Now Mayfield. That's his tight end, Otten. What a pickup, a gain of 18. And it sets up 1st and goal.
Man, they're just running this 2-minute drill to complete perfection. It is such a point of emphasis of every offense, Mike. These end-of-half scenarios to come away stealing points make a big impact on the outcome of the game. And they're knocking on the door here, 1st and goal. And at the very least, got to come away with some points.
A chance here to draw level before the break. It's 1st and goal. Here's Mayfield. And he can't hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. What a good job defensively to meet him just as the ball was arriving. And it'll be 2nd down.
He's got to find a way to hold on to that one. I mean, you're right on the doorstep of the end zone. And listen, I understand that hit is coming. But guess what? That hit's coming whether you catch it or not. And you get paid to make the difficult catches. And I would classify that one as tough, but you got to make that catch. Give your team a chance to come away with this drive with some points. So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
And this is too far over the end line. It's incomplete.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
On fourth down, Chase McLaughlin in for the Bucs. This about as short as you can get. McLaughlin's kick is good. And the Bucs are on the board. It's 7-3.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in first and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
The kickoff team is out on the field. And we're back to it as the kick's away. This one taken at the 7. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. The Texans offense and running back Joe Mixon heading out onto the field. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Stroud going to set up to throw. That's into the hands of Dell on the right side. And he'll be taken down up at the 40-yard line. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff going to get a chance to look him over during the break. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. On play action, Stroud. Open man, downfield, it's Nico Collins. And he will score. Nico Collins. Touchdown, Texans. Fairbairn to add the extra point. He's got it. And the Texans extend their advantage to 14-3. Still a little time. Final minute of this first half. We'll see if they can do anything with this kickoff that is coming their way. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Buccaneers offense going to take over here in the final minute of this first half. They trail now 14-3, so an 11-point deficit as they start things out with 1st and 10. To throw is Mayfield. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Throwing on 2nd down, Mayfield. Yeah! And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45. First and 10. Mayfield. And he does a nice job to avoid the initial wave. They're going to get him down behind the line.
It's so easy to underestimate the speed of this quarterback until you get on the field. They break down your pursuit angle so quickly because of that speed, so give credit to the defense. They understand it's a collective effort to contain this guy, and this time, defense wins and brings him down for a sack.
That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
Rough sequence over these last couple plays. 1st down sack, 2nd down big play attempt, falls incomplete. And now to make matters worse, you got to operate in 3rd and long on a defense that knows they can just pin their ears back and try to get after the quarterback.
Mayfield to throw. He's going to try it here again. That is caught! And he's going to be taken down as time runs out on this first half of play.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Joe Mixon who had it working in the first half. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. These two teams ready for the second half, and so are we. So let's get you back out to Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
All right, Coach, second half, drawing near. Glad to have you back with us here on EA Sports. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The home team's offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. Throwing is Baker. To the tight end, Otten with the grab. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
2nd and 7. They'll run it. It's Irving. And some good running there. That's a first down up to the 43. To throw is Mayfield. To the left side, to Godwin.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. They're going to motion the tight end over here. On 2nd down, a run with Irving. And he'll get past the marker. So he's got a 1st down on that gain of 5.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst, they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
They go play action with Mayfield. Little short pass here, caught by his tight end. And he'll be hauled down at about the 35-yard line.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
And he finds a little bit of space. He'll take this forward for a gain of 4. Here's a 2nd and 6. They'll run with Irving. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
And he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a sack and a loss of a couple.
This is where the playmaking ability almost can be a detriment to a running quarterback. They have such confidence in their ability to keep plays alive with their legs that sometimes they hold it just a little bit too long, thinking they can make the next big play, and good job by the defenders tracking them down and took them down for a loss.
So Chase McLaughlin will come in, and they'll try a field goal. This a 48-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Buccaneers cut the lead to 4. It's 10-6.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. On the return, it's Dameon Pierce. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Texans offense. And their running back set to go once more. The advantage is 8. We'll see if they can make this a 2-score game on this drive. 1st down and 10. Back to throw. Stroud. That's into the hands of Diggs. And he'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3. So, 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They face 2nd down and 7. To throw, it's Stroud. That one caught by Tank Dell.
This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
This crowd into it now as we get to third down. They'll give this to Mixon, running right. And he's across midfield, and more importantly, he's got the first down at the 49-yard line.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. And in motion, it's Diggs. Stroud to throw here on first and 10. That's caught. It's Joe Mixon. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up second and 5. From the shotgun, C.J. Stroud. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the fourth quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out. Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
Can't beat those legs. 13-yard pickup. A scramble leads to a first down.
You know, Mike, I like everything about this play except the very end. You've already picked up good yardage. You've already picked up the first down. Now get down on the ground and protect yourself. There's no reason to take those shots.
They'll run on first down with Mixon. And he's into the end zone. That might be the knockout punch. Joe Mixon. Touchdown, Houston. That is second touchdown of the afternoon. Everything you want to do right there, Greg, in the fourth quarter, get the ball with the lead and extend it to a 2-score advantage.
Yeah, and I think this just might end up being too much to overcome. You said it. Once you get a 2-score lead this late in the fourth quarter, there's just not enough possessions to be had to claw yourself back in it.
Now Fairbairn for the extra point. His kick is good, and the Texans extend it to a 21-6 advantage. And so after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn to kick it off. On the return, here comes Tucker. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Bucs offense ready to see what they can do. They need to start making some inroads here. Down 2 scores as they begin this drive with first down. From the gun, it's Mayfield. This one is caught by Shepard. And he'll be taken down as the clock ticks towards 2 minutes to play. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Here's 2nd down and 3. They'll drop to throw. That's over the middle of the tight end, Otten. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
This play is actually really well defended here. But I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
Nowhere to go. He is taken down.
That's a prototypical coverage sack. All 11 guys on the field doing their job. Starts with sound back-end coverage. Nowhere to go quick with the ball. The quarterback has no chance but to extend the play. Look for something late developing downfield. That was all the time this front needed to chase him down and bring him down for a sack.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
A great pass rush is like a closer in baseball. When you bring them into the game, it's all but over. And that's exactly the case here. It doesn't result necessarily in a sack, but it was the hit that altered the throw just enough to end that play before it started.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Now or never, they'll throw on 4th down. And this one is intercepted. Derek Stingley comes up with it. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
It's no secret, this offense has severely struggled to sustain drives this entire game, and the scoreboard, for the most part, Mike, it reflects that. I mean, that interception should, in essence, put an end to any lingering hope of a last-minute comeback.
The Texans offense ready to take over once more. They start with the lead and the football. They do so with tremendous field position. It's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Mixon. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. Now the Bucs will take their 1st timeout. Clock is stopped. 47 seconds left here in the 4th. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Again, they'll give it to Mixon. And he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. This one all but over. Here's 3rd down. On the give, this is Mixon. The Buccaneers forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in this one. The offense is staying right there. They're going for it. 4th and a couple. Stroud. That's taken in. And he's trying to get to the marker. It's going to depend on the spot. But the first indication that he does not get there. In fact, he did not. It is a stop and a turnover on downs.
You know, more often than not in the NFL, games are won based on who wins critical downs. Well, that 4th down attempt right there was exactly that, and this defense came up huge for a big-time 4th down stop.
This is 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Mayfield. And he's got Palmer. It's complete. And he'll be taken down all the way up past the 45.
Nice way to start the drive here. Really good protection by the guys up front. Good decision by the quarterback to find his read. Ball's accurate, ball's on time. Now they're able to start this drive and get on the move the right way.
That is incomplete, so the task gets more difficult. Time for maybe 2 plays. That's it.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
At this level, you just would expect a little bit better execution and accuracy on those intermediate throws. I think he had an opportunity there for a nice pickup. Off target, off rhythm, and ends up getting away from him.
Here we go. One final play. He's going to let this one go deep. And that final throw here is intercepted. Picked off by Derek Stingley. And the Texans are going to come up with a late turnover, but it will only matter to the stat keepers. This ball game is over. So it's a win for the visiting Texans. And right away you can point to the turnover battle. Always key. Tells the story so often. It did here again today. Their offense didn't turn it over at all. They finished on the plus side with the takeaways. And as a result, they're going to come away with the victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say